Good evening, every pony, and welcome to the month of October, the spookiest time of the year. And you know, I always end up feeling very jolly this time of the year. The leaves are changing color, the air is turning nippy, the laughs of children fill the air as they discuss what they're going to dress up as for Halloween, and the sound of the occasional firework can be heard going off in the distance. So, seeing as how I'm in such a good mood, I thought I would give back to all of you, my wonderful viewers, by partaking in a little pastime. Scaring the living shit out of you. Welcome to Horror Month. Very nice. All throughout the month of October, I'll be reviewing several horror stories, all of which are scary in their own right, but none of which are quite as scary as PT. So let's start Horror Month off proper with the story Nigeb by Aquaman. Mr. Editor, can we fix that really quickly, please? Thank you. Nigeb is a dark story, and centers around Fluttershy, who is being plagued by strange nightmares every time she falls asleep. While she's awake, Twilight meanwhile attempts to help her by trying to figure out what's causing these nightmares in the first place. And honestly, that's where I should probably stop describing the plot. I think that if I went on describing it, I would be giving too much away, by either talking too much about the nightmares that Flutters has, or the creepy things that happen during the daytime while Twilight attempts to play Dr. Wolf with her. To experience this fic at its scariest, I think you should go into it knowing as little about the plot as possible. What I will say though is that the story has a lot of good horror elements in it. For example, I think that its best quality is that it captures Fluttershy's fear very well. I think we can all say that we've either had an experience where we watched something and were too afraid to go to sleep that night, or we've had a really bad nightmare which has had the same effect on us. Such is the case with Fluttershy. The story does a really good job of conveying her feelings of helplessness and fear. A kind of fear that follows you wherever you go. A fear that petrifies you so much that you think about it all the time and it slowly eats away at you. And in her dreams, we see just how bad the ordeal is for her. The second nightmare in particular shows just how bad her situation really is, and it really pushes home this idea of never being able to escape from some terrifying thing that's always chasing you. It helps add a lot to the horror in the story. And the thing that's always chasing you plays a huge role in Nigeb. The story plays around with the idea of this unknown creature and fear traveling from dreams to reality. Right up until the very end of the story, we have no idea what this thing looks like, and so many questions are raised about it throughout the entire story up until this point. Where did this thing come from? What does it want? Why does it pursue people? How do you kill it? Can you kill it? All the questions surrounding this thing make it both an unsettling creature that unnerves the reader, as well as a mystery that you want to solve by reading on. Nigeb's great sense of suspense and hands-down brilliant atmosphere also add a lot to it. All of Fluttershy's nightmares have a great ominous tone to them. Even if we do know how all of them will inevitably end, tension is still created, either by her being chased and being given a glimmer of hope that she'll get away, or an item adding to the tension, like the ticking of a watch. The atmosphere then carries over into the daytime sections, where Twilight attempts to analyze Fluttershy's dreams to see if she can help her. And as the story progresses, these sections start to get more and more creepy, with certain events from the dreams making their way into the real world. Couple all of these elements with Fluttershy's increasingly unstable mental state as the nightmares get progressively worse, and you have a very tasty, blood-centered story. This is an example of another fic that I wish I had a lot more to say about, but I can't really say much else other than, it's good. When it was written, it was entered into Equestria Daily's Nightmare Night fanfic competition and ended up winning it, and honestly it's not hard to see why. The atmosphere is good, it draws you in with questions about its monster, and it actually managed to legitimately scare me at points. If you're awake one evening and you don't think you need any sleep, go ahead and give it a read. You won't be disappointed. In the meantime, however, I'd hold on to your tails, folks, because Horror Month is just getting started. So until the next review rolls around, thank you very much for watching. I'm EmeraldComet, and I will see you all next time. Whew. Well, that certainly was a scary story. Now then, let's see here what's on the bill for the next review. Hello? What's this? Hello? Did somebody leave their sword lying around here? How did a sword wind up here? I guess I'd better hold on to it until somebody comes by to pick it up.